please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen, Green,
Here.
LaFleur,
Here.
Mistrovich.
Here.
Rindell.
Here.
Ricks.
Here.
Warren.
Here.
Motion to excuse Emily from tonight's meeting due to being out of town for work.
I'll make that motion.
I support it.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Approval of minutes for the city council meeting of August 20th. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion? Do you not? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Audience comments on any non-agenda items? If anybody wants to say anything to the city council at this moment? Everybody else is on the agenda? We'll move on. Adoption agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City council, any changes?
No, sir.
Motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration. This evening, we have 6. And I'd like to start off with that traditionally, we've been meeting at the one-room schoolhouse at the Richmond Historical Society, being that is supposedly somewhere around 90 to 100 degree. Feel like right at the moment, we decided this morning that we weren't going to do that. We have business to conduct, and it was going to be kind of hard without air conditioning. So we appreciate the offer. Mary Ellen's here. She's vice president. Pardon me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we appreciate that. Chris is always there for us, but it was a little too hot this year. So we're back in the air conditioning this evening. Hopefully next year it'll be a little cooler. Our first item for consideration is consideration of request from Richmond Area Chamber of Commerce Fall Decorating and Scarecrow Contest. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider approving a request from the Richmond Area Chamber of Commerce for a fall decorating contest that will include placing scarecrows, hay bales, and decorations at the base of the light poles from Park Street to Gratiot. The Chamber, City, and Tifa have worked together for the last 9 years to decorate the poles. The Chamber is again asking sponsors to decorate the scarecrows beginning the weekend of Friday, September 28th, and then they would be taking down the scarecrows on the weekend of November 6th, I believe.
November 5th.
Or, I'm sorry,
28th to November 5th.
yeah, November 5th. And they also have provided council with some outlines of some of their other fall events this year. And Executive Director Jill Alblin is here if you have any questions.
Joe, would you like to speak to this at all?
It's going to follow the format. This is the sixth year for this, so it'll be following the format that we've followed in the past. And if possible, we'd like to have the assistance of the DPW in putting out the bales of straw, just so we don't get run over. But other than that, we're going to change up our voting a little bit. Things got a little out of hand last year. I don't think there was 7,000 people in town at any one time, but we somehow managed to get to that number on one of them. So, but otherwise, nothing has changed as far as the regulations that we're going to impose or anything like that. So,
Anybody have any questions? Thank you. Is there a motion?
Make the motion to approve the request from the Richmond Area Chamber of Commerce fall decorating contest with the placement of scarecrows at the light poles from Park Street to Gratiot Avenue, Friday, September 28th to November 5th, 2018.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion?
think it's a great event, and I think hopefully it can continue on. I think it turns out very well. We get a lot of great comments, at least I do, and I believe other council members also do.
Okay. Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 2 is consideration of request from the Richmond Area Historical and Genealogical Society Cemetery Walk. Mr. City Manager.
Council is scheduled to consider a request from RAGS to conduct a living history cemetery walk in the City of Richmond Cemetery on Saturday, October 13th, from 1 to 3 p.m. and the placement of an across-the-road banner from October 3rd through Monday, October 15th. This is the second year of the event, and the Vice President of RAGS is here if you have any questions.
Mary Ellen, would you like to?
It is our second event. Last year was relatively successful in spite of a downpour of rain from about 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. It was about 24 hours of it. So we had a very good turnout. This year we're highlighting 5 residents of Richmond, and I think you probably have that flyer in front of you with the names of the people and who's portraying them, so I don't need to go through that, but we're pretty excited about it. We're going to have some golf carts there, and you saw that on the petition also, to help with some of the less able people. We would like to put chairs under the tents. We're going to have a tent at every site this year, and we didn't have that last year. We had them at a few, so every year we hope to get a little better, and so I think this year will be better than last year even. It's kind of an exciting event. I hear people talking about it. We have tickets for sale, so if you'd like any tickets, we'll be there at Good Old Days selling tickets, and you can get them also anytime on Thursdays or make a phone call to any one of us, and we'll get them right there to you. We're very excited to have a sponsor this year. Rewalt Peshek Funeral Home is helping us out financially, and we'll be able to put the banner up for some advertising and also have some refreshments for those people who attend. So I think it's going to be a very nice event. We'd like to put the tents up, I said, on Saturday. I would like to change that, maybe try to get them up on Thursday afternoon or Friday, so we're not trying to do everything that morning of.
Just work with John.
I can work with RAGS
Okay.
and
Yeah.
make that possible.
Council don't have any problem with that?
No.
Okay. Any questions, Mary Ellen?
I think we're good.
Anything else, dear?
I don't, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the request from RAGS to conduct the cemetery walk in the City of Richmond Cemetery on Saturday, October 13th, 2018, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., and the use of the chapel for registration. And direct the city clerk to apply to MDOT for the placement of an across-the-road banner from October 3rd, 2018 to Monday, October 15th, 2018.
Support.
Most been made and supported. Any discussion?
The banner turned out really nice. I really like the graphic. Whoever designed it did a well job.
Yeah, thank you.
Any comments? Back to the table? Yep. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Hope you get the weather this year. I don't know where I went last year, but I had to go out of town. Can't remember what it was, but they used my golf cart, yeah, but I had to go out of town for some reason. I don't know what it was. And it was miserable.
It was.
Yeah.
Rain.
Yeah. But you still had a decent crowd.
You did.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
The first year in the weather,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't have asked for a better turnout, really.
Yeah. Very good. Good luck. Item number 3 is consideration of salt bin construction. Mr. City Manager?
The existing DPW salt bin is in poor condition. The city has budgeted for several years with the intent of replacing the salt bin and increasing our storage capacity. The Planning Commission has previously reviewed the plans that Public Service Director Jim Getzinger put together. He has also secured 25% of the funding through MDOT for their portion of our salt usage. We did bid this out. We asked that council remove it from the agenda last meeting just to give us a little extra time. And in that time, Jim has contacted some of the contractors, our engineering firm, and and some others to get some idea if we rebid this, would we come out to the city's advantage, and we do not believe so. And so at this time, we're able to make that recommendation that we move forward with this project. Jim is here tonight if you have any questions.
Is there a motion before discussion?
I'll make a motion to award the 2017 DPW salt bin contract bid package to Wind Construction in the amount of $73,500 with the expenses charged to appropriate line items in major street and local street funds.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this item?
Maybe 18.
Yep, 2018, sorry.
Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We also have another recommended motion for the award of the roof package. Is there a motion?
I may make a motion to award the 2018 DPW salt bin roof bid package to Booms Construction, amount of $49,300 with the expense charged with appropriate line items.
Support.
What's been made and supported? Is there any discussion on this? Actually, I keep on hearing that everything is going up in price. All building materials.
Yeah.
I don't know, steel, if there's any steel involved in this building.
Yeah, metal
Everything's been
roof
going up.
siding.
By the week, steel's been going up. Because we just, the steel building
lumber,
over in the park. Yeah, well, they just went back and my son's doing a steel building, same exact stuff, and it went up in price in 1 week, quite a bit. So I think we're better off grabbing what we can grab right now and running with it.
Yeah, and I think we had, what, 100,000 set
Yes.
aside, and
Yeah.
we're about, what, 24,000 over, something
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
Yep.
That's even with the savings of breaking it into two separate packages, you know.
I'm sorry, did we get a motion on that? I didn't write it
Yep.
down.
Yep.
Who
I made that motion.
You made that, okay,
John
Rob.
supported, yep.
I missed it. Okay, any other discussion? Any comments from the audience? Back to the table? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 4 is consideration of Dow Street ditching. Mr. City Manager?
The city is responsible for a drainage ditch that runs from Dow Street to 32 Mile Road, just east of Howard. This ditch drains essentially all of Dow, portions of Seymour, and then the intersections of Mary and Howard there. In researching another issue, Jim and I came across some of the documents that granted the city this easement. We had in the past incorrectly kind of assumed that ditch was controlled by others, but realized it's a city ditch and has not been maintained. And we estimate probably 25 to 30 years. And so it's probably overdue. Jim put together some bids, and we're recommending that we go with the low bidder, which was Capozzo and Sons Excavating. They will come in, clean the ditch, place the spoils on the side of the ditch to let them dry before they haul them out to a landfill.
Very good. Is there a motion before discussion?
Make a motion to authorize the expense of $18,500 to clear the rear yard drainage ditch east of Howard Street by Capozos and Sons Excavating with expenses charged to the appropriate line item in the local street fund.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Discussion?
I would just have a question. Are there any other ditches that we need to start planning for?
Usually all of our stuff is kind of the catch basins and that, and we periodically clean those from time to time to clean out the sumps in them. We're not aware of any. That's not to say that.
Yeah, the majority of the city streets are curbed. There are very few ditches, and there tend to be all mowable, so residents typically kind of maintain, if you will, that. We don't have any real active ponding issues. And like John had mentioned, our storm sewers outlet to county drains, generally speaking. So this is the only one we're currently aware of, but we'll certainly, now that we know there are potentially others, we'll certainly investigate that.
Would the ditch in front of like the bank by the Kmart Plaza, would that be the county's or ours?
One of those is ours, and we do maintain that, but again, it's mowable, so our guys mow it.
Yeah,
There's
Muttonville
an
Lane,
actual, right behind that, I think people assume that it's a ditch, but it's actually a detention pond for the Kmart Plaza.
Oh, so the Phragmites are the
The
detention
Phragmites
ones?
are in the detention
Not
pond,
the-
not the ditch that we maintain.
and Muttonville Lane itself is MDOT roadway, so we're not responsible, if you will, for the cost of that. If we did maintain that, it'd be reimbursed.
Is there a timeline on this? When this is
The
gonna get done?
intent would be this fall. I haven't spoken with the contractor, but they know you gotta hit the right window to make it feasible to do.
Yep, okay. So I assume they're gonna be, do we have a right-of-way on either side of that ditch?
There's an easement that the ditch is within, and our intent would be to work from one side of the ditch, if you will, the whole length of it. And John and I have prepared a letter that certainly I'll be talking with every impacted property owner before we do any work, so they know what's coming and what to expect.
Yeah. We have access back there?
Yeah, it's really easiest from one end, which is the apartments that are off of Dow Street, or the ditch, kind of the upstream limits of the work, so
Okay.
we'll be working in and back out that same way.
Okay. Anything else? Any audience comments?
On that street, there's no curbs, or any future plans for curbs or sidewalks?
Is there plans for curbs and sidewalks on Howard Street?
No, on Dow Street,
On Dow?
yes.
Not at this time, due to the elevations and the problems with stormwater. We recently redid Dow Street a couple of years ago and kept the same roadway and ditches. In order to put, due to the elevations there, in order to put in a traditional curb and gutter and storm sewer, we'd have to create storm sewer lift stations and then maintain them. So at that point, we chose to stay with the current configuration. With the ditches, prevent that because of the right-of-way width.
Anything else? Back to the table? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 5 is consideration of dump truck purchase. Mr. City Manager.
The fiscal year 2018-19 budget included $150,000 for the purchase of a dump truck. The vehicle will replace a 1994 GMC truck that was sold at auction in 2017, after which we realized we really do need 3 trucks to kind of make sure we have a backup for some of the heavier plowing times. And so Jim's been out looking at bids for this truck. Recommendation is for a Freightliner through D&K Truck, and then all the upgrades or equipment upfitters would be through Schultz Equipment, and it did come in under budget slightly.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to authorize $149,101 for the purchase of a Freightliner chassis upfit by Schultz Equipment with the expense charged appropriate line items.
Support.
What's been made and supported? Discussion.
I just appreciate that it came under budget,
Yep. Something that's gone down a little bit.
right?
Did I need the D&K truck in that motion, or is the Freightliner just fine?
It probably should have the D&K in there
I'll
as you're reading.
Include
it. I
that in my
noticed that.
motion.
The what?
The name of the company,
The motion didn't.
From?
Yeah.
Okay.
being the Schultz Equipment was in there, I'll include the D&K
Okay.
in the motion.
Do we have, discussion, do we have any of our vehicles that have a hitch on them? Any of our dump trucks?
Currently, no.
Okay. That is something that
Yeah.
we've, for years, have asked about. Just doesn't seem right that we don't have at least one truck that could carry something large enough in case.
Sure, I believe this one does have the hitch. That
Okay.
is something we have been planning ahead for various reasons. We wanted to make sure we could pull a trailer.
Yeah, something heavy enough that
Yeah.
none of our other vehicles can pull.
Correct.
Yeah, because we've been in that position once before, a few years ago, and I found it astounding that we didn't have one with a
Well,
hitch on it.
sure. Currently, at this time, DPW doesn't have any trailers to pull, if you will, so that I'm not surprised that it wasn't thought of in the past, but we do see that as a need, so.
Yeah, great, great.
And reading over specs, it appears that the specs would handle pulling a trailer with no issue at all. The transmission that they have and everything's using.
Yeah.
So he did a great job on the specs. Looking at those.
What's proposed is essentially very similar to our newest dump truck. It's upfit for snow removal as well, so it's similar size and horsepower as far as the engine, and slightly better as far as the box. You know, there's improvements. Time makes changes. You see what lasts longer, so we've tried to make it better, but you know, cost being a key part of that.
Okay. Any other comments? Questions? Audience comments, questions? Back to the table? When are we getting it?
Not for a little while. So the chassis actually really would be January. That's because the timing when they switch over their model year. So if we had ordered this, if I had taken this to council the first meeting in July, it still would have been January. So we took some time to make sure we got what we wanted. But so it'll be a while. It'll be halfway through the winter, but maybe in time for when we really tend to need the equipment.
Yeah, okay. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. I was hoping it would be in the Christmas spread, maybe.
They will have something in there, though.
Yeah?
Not the new one yet.
Well, we appreciate that. Item number 6 is consideration of additional holiday closings. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider a request from staff to close city offices on Friday, July 5th, Monday, December 23rd, and Monday, December 30th, in conjunction with the observed holidays. In the past, what we've done where we've had those days where we would be off for a holiday and then back for a one-day workday, we've allowed the employees at their leave to use their leave banks to be gone from City Hall, DPW if they choose, and library. This exact configuration of dates last happened in the 2013 calendar year and was approved then.
Okay. Is there a motion for discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve the closings of the city offices on Friday, July 5th, Monday, December 23rd, and Monday, December 30th, 2018, with the understanding that the employees must utilize their accumulated leave time to pay for these days since they are not recognized by the city of Richmond as holidays.
Support.
It's been made and supported. Is there any discussion?
And I apologize, that motion got by us, it's 2019.
You set me up.
No, it's, yep,
Dates?
sorry,
Were you pasting again, or?
yes.
Okay. Give me a minute here. I didn't get a chance to look at this.
It would be the
The
calendar.
19 calendar is in the packet, that's the 18.
Oh, we're not talking about this?
No.
Correct.
No,
We're doing this in
Okay.
anticipation of
You're
putting
doing this a
together
year ahead
the,
of time.
yeah,
Okay.
that way it can actually be right in the calendar.
Yep,
Sorry about that.
okay. So they want to take the 23rd?
Correct,
Normally we get the 24th and the 25th, John?
correct.
Okay,
So we would come in, work Monday,
Uh-huh.
and then be gone 2 days.
okay.
Same thing the following week.
But the 26th and 27th, they would still be here, so.
Correct,
City
yes.
Hall would be open Thursday, Friday of Christmas week.
Yep,
And then it would be closed again on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, be open again January 2nd and 3rd?
correct,
Okay,
correct.
okay.
And then the 4th of July is a or is a Thursday, so we would be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, be closed for the 4th, and closed on Friday the 5th.
Normally, would we see much business at that time?
Those days, and that's kind of why we've done it in the past, is a lot of people use those days anyway, and so we're usually here with 2 or 3 people, and then we sit here and it's the holidays and people don't come in those
Is
days.
there any issues as far as water bills or anything like that where they can still drop it in the
They can
drop
still
box
drop
and
them,
still consider
yeah.
that on time if
Absolutely, and now with the ability to pay online, they can do that as well, but we always, for those types of situations, recognize, and they're due the 15th, so,
Yeah.
yeah,
okay.
yep, we recognize that those are paid on time.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? Any audience comments on this item? Back to the table. I guess the question is, are we going to be good employers or not?
Find out in a second.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Okay. City manager's comments, sir.
Just apologize, we know we've had a couple patches open for a long time. They will all be wrapped up tomorrow. They're in here doing prep work today. Everything will be paved out tomorrow.
Very good, very good. Council comments. Rob?
No, you answered my question I had.
John?
Nothing.
Amy? Dennis? Michael?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Good. I'd like to say thank you again, as I always do annually. We're there again with the Good Old Days Festival, and again, the administration and city manager and the employees have all been very helpful. Jim has helped us. We just built a building over there with volunteer help, and DPW came over and helped a few times when we needed some help. It's part Good Old Days and now part Parks and Recreation. They will be moving out of the Good Old Days barn and moving into the new barn back there. And so appreciated the ability to work together with the city and Good Old Days. But also with getting prepared for the festival. There's, again, administration employees and whatnot have gone out of their way to help put that monster together. And so we appreciate that very much, and we wish everybody a great Good Old Days celebration this year. Well, the calendar today being the 4th of September, we have the library will be closed on Saturday due to Good Old Days, and will reopen on Monday. The BZA will be meeting at 7 o'clock on the 13th here at City Hall, and the Planning Commission will be meeting right after that meeting. A number of things on the Planning Commission.
Yeah.
It could be a very interesting meeting for the City Council to be able to attend, and that's on the 13th right here at City Hall. 2 weeks from yesterday, our next regular City Council meeting on the 17th. Is there anything else that we need to add to the calendar? If not, we move on. There is no closed session. Is there any other business to be had by the City Council this evening? If not, motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
What's been made and supported. There's no discussion on an adjournment motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Thanks for being with us then.